how do you speak without preparing? It's interesting because we stress the need to prepare all the time. There are hardly times that I'm not thinking about the next presentation, the next speech, the next opportunity to share a message where I'm not consciously going through the message itself, trying to refine it, trying to hone the craft of speaking and being ready for when the moment happens, that I will be standing up in front of the particular audience of that day and deliver with purpose and in a meaningful way that I hope to build a deep connection and hopefully change some minds around what it is that I'm trying to convey. But there are times when we are called upon out of the blue and we may not necessarily be ready. And this is where working on our improv, I find, is a great way in which to do it. This is something that is relatively easy to do because there are scenes and events that you can recreate in a sense with a partner again, where you can just have them identify a scene or identify a topic for you out of the blue to get your mind thinking very quickly about what that would necessarily mean. Ultimately, there is, again, a message that you want to deliver and you want to convey, and that would be the main purpose of why you are still speaking. And so finding that true why of what it is that this person wants to get out of you, spontaneously, mind you, but they put you in an awkward position so that you now know this is not normal. This is not what I was expecting. However, I can quickly create what it is that I want them to take away just based on the limited information, and working with the knowledge that I have and the training that I've done to prepare that message for when the stage is set in advance and I can prepare. I can lean back on those skills of what I use to prepare to say, ultimately, what I'm asked to be challenged with in this moment will then allow me to go back, find the message, find the key takeaway, find the whatever it is I'm going to convey to that person, and let that be my driving force as I continue to make that change happen.
Yeah, I would say there's a really good exercise for improv. I was listening to what Tim was saying, called yes and. So you're with a group of people or even just another person, and you basically they throw something out there. Like, yesterday I was walking in the park and I saw a ball bouncing in front of me, and they stop, and then you have to just
yes
in the affirmative. Yes.
The ball continued
and I noticed
down the road, and then the giraffe came after.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
and I saw dinosaurs coming out after you too.
And you keep that metaphorical ball bouncing, and you keep it going around the group. So not only does that increase your chops, if you will, your ability to be able to throw things out there impromptu, but you'll find that the application of those skills are just immeasurable. For example, if you're working on a team, in an office, or any situation where you're expected to answer, perhaps upper management expects you to answer a question to make it at least sound like you know what you're talking about. Imagine if you really could make it sound like you know what you're talking about. You know, it's amazing what that'll do, the wonders that'll deliver for you in your work and in other situations.
I love the yes and exercise that trains your brain going faster. And as an English as a second language speaker, I have to get to the point as soon as possible. I cannot afford to dilly-dally. Then I lose myself into the two languages in between. So my method is to find what do I want to tell in this situation. Decide first, then find the word, you know it. So it's just everything you want to sound better is sometimes just a wait. Just go straight to the point. It's especially this fast-paced world. Sometimes it's really appreciated, despite of you are struggling to find the core that is actually serving for the others, listeners. So don't worry about the reasons around it. Just you want to tell straight to it. Often it's received well, and it's a conversation starter. Usually the speaking without preparation is happening in a conversation, right? Not you are on a stage. So it's you can think as conversation starter, get to the point, and you let others to say, oh, I agree, oh, I disagree. Now you're in the conversation, then everyone is brainstorming. It's an interesting word, brainstorm, as an English second language speaker. So it's storm. It's okay to be mess.
Yes.
That's what I like about it.
Yes. And I would add that when you are unsure of the point in which to make, it is okay to admit that. It is okay to admit that you do not have all of the answers. And it is okay in a business setting, in a social setting, in a conversation of any kind, to acknowledge what the person is looking for, acknowledge that they're seeking an answer within a certain time period, and that you will do your best to find out the answer for them. When we stumble and when we feel like we're just searching for what that other individual or what that group or what that audience may want to hear, it may come across as being ingenuine or not delivered in a manner that they would even believe you. So you want to make sure that if you cannot come up with a solid message or answer a question directly that's been asked of you because you're not ready or because you don't have the information, acknowledging that there is more research to be done, that there is something that you do not know, and that you're willing to go out and find that answer, I believe makes you a better speaker, because you will be seen as someone who is at least willing to go out and seek out the right or an answer. Might not be the right answer for the particular person, and especially in business. And it will at least give you credibility that shows that you're willing to go and find what that person wants. And it may not be what they want to hear. You will find an answer and you will be able to deliver it. Very hard to get through that sentence without using the but.
You tried. You succeeded. Yes, and I might add, to limit your situation. I can answer in this situation. I don't know this situation, but I can answer in particular this situation, this summer or this 24 hours or something. Just limit. You can think of the answer if it's needed. It's important to acknowledge I don't have all the answer, and willing to search for you sincere connection. What we are trying to do by speaking is to make connection between audience and you. So you're showing, I don't know yet, but I'm willing to help you is a great way. So or limit, I can search certain perspective. That portion I can help you, but the other thing I know someone else, that might be helpful too.